I've got a lot of hours on PlayStation 2 games.
What's the main one you were on?
There's a game called Shadow of the Colossus.
I know that one.
That one's pretty classic.
Big boys.
Big boys. Just like 10 big boys. You just got to go get those 10 big boys.
And you're a little guy.
You're a little guy. Well, you're a normal guy.
Right.
But they're big boys.
Colossal.
Some might say.
Mm-hmm. Made of stone and brick.
It was that game.
Something like that.
It was a big Kingdom Hearts 2.
Really?
Play that one?
Little bit of Disney.
Yeah. That's one that like
Final Fantasy. Did you play those, or was that
no?
the first?
I got back into during COVID. I played Final Fantasy 8.
Nice.
But it's the turn-based stuff. I can't do it. It's so boring.
Yeah. Well, the remakes. If you get some remakes, they'll let you fast forward through them. Is this what we're supposed to be talking about on a podcast at all? Should we start over? Thank you for tuning back in to another wonderful episode of the WhizzbangBAM podcast. Number one most requested podcast in the world. We're joined by my best friend, Zach Hamilton.
Hi.
Hey. Zach Hamilton, how are you? Dandy.
I like the overcast. It's been like overcast this whole week in Nashville, and it just like, puts me in the right mood.
The old Nashville skyline.
Yeah. Except I can't really see it from my house. It's more the like barges that come down the Cumberland River.
Really?
Yeah.
I used to have a kid in my class, and he'd always go, "I like boats and I like barges." I remember him very well.
What was his name?
I don't remember his name, but I remember that.
What grade was that?
8th.
Oh,
Middle
okay.
school time. I like boats and I like barges. And I would too, you know.
You would too if what? If you were him. His name was Boat Barge Man. Yeah. Barry the boat barge. Barry the boat barge boy.
It just seemed, it seemed genuine for sure.
Yeah.
If you had to captain a ship, what time would you want to be a captain of a
what
ship?
era?
Yeah.
I mean, pirates are so fascinating, you know? I'd be interested to captain a ship that would have been like Blackbeard's rival or something like that. You know what I mean?
An underdog pirate ship?
Yeah, let's call it that. An underdog pirate ship.
Wow.
Just because also I'm fascinated by people who were able to like survive on, a piece of wood in 1820 or whatever.
Just a little.
For 2 months, just like in the ocean.
Yeah.
I feel like that'd be a little more interesting. Sometime without the internet, I think that's the only like that would be my only like
Time
caveat.
to captain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If there's no internet and you just gotta figure it out.
Figure out where you're going.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
That they just like did that.
Yeah.
Do you think they were smarter back then?
Before?
No.
Not really. At certain things.
Yeah.
But overall?
No. I don't know.
I don't know.
But
Maybe because they were probably more inquisitive.
Maybe. But I feel like it's also the thing of like,
You can only base from like
people that
you
we
still
talk
have
about
a base
still.
knowledge,
Yeah, and it's also like we'll talk about Albert Einstein still to this day, and like how many of his scientific like proteges or people that worked alongside him that we just don't talk about, that also did stuff. Like imagine it's always the same thing, where like we kind of only talk about like the top people,
the top dudes
who we
to ever
remember,
do.
top dogs.
Yeah, kind of in everything too, I guess.
And that's why I'd want to be underdog ship.
That's why you're underdog ship.
Yeah.
Because you're going to take down Blackbeard.
Yeah. 110%. Nobody's going to remember them. Be like, Blackbeard who?
What's next? What's next for you? You got records coming out? You make records.
Yeah, I make records, engineer and produce and mix and all that stuff. I just had a single come out with a friend of mine from around here. He's originally from North Carolina. His name's Nathan Evans Fox. The song Some Lights just came out yesterday.
Yesterday.
Yeah.
Stream now.
Yeah, stream it now. Sunlight's played.
What's the type of vibe? If you could give it just a couple adjectives.
If you can imagine, like if Pedro the Lion made country music, like
wow,
like he's a big Dave Bazan guy.
Yeah.
And so there's like some of those elements in there, but he's also like the biggest Roger Miller head I've ever met in my life.
Pedro the Lion. First time you heard that band was, do you remember that?
Still haven't really dived in.
I never dove in, but they had a song on my family computer that just like came built into whatever
Pedro the
music
Lion
software.
did?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. I remembered the name and I remembered that song.
I
see him pop up.
I grew up listening to Manchester Orchestra.
Me too.
All the time. And so I feel like that's how I knew about Dave Bazan, was the like Andy Hall, Manchester, like that world that had circulated a little bit. But I still haven't
Bad Books kind of came
Yeah.
with Kevin Devine. Is that his name? Kevin
Yes,
Devine?
that is a name.
That's
Much to the
good
chagrin
songwriter.
of like some of my older friends, there's some of that stuff that I haven't dived in. Like I'm about to, at the end of March, I'm about to go work with a band called Sympathy Jar. They're a Lexington band. And they do a lot of like shoegaze and like if you're familiar with like
shoegaze. Let's break that just for the audience.
Oh, okay. Shoegaze is noise.
Well, it was
noisy
derived from
rock music.
The members would stare at their shoes.
Yes.
The members of the band.
It was like in the 90s in the UK.
They were looking at their effects pedals.
Bands started rising up because then effects also had gotten a lot cheaper, and so then people were just like stacking them on top of each other. And it was some like journalist in NME or something like that. I don't know the total history, but somebody was just
someone
like,
said they were shoegazers.
Yeah, and I don't
they were all
think
staring at the ground.
Yeah, and I don't think
I
the
think it was
journalist
a
nuts about it.
derogatory.
Yes.
Like they
they're just
weren't
these
interactive with the
shoegaze
crowd. These
bands.
shoegazers.
Which also, if you go back and watch, it's true. Like,
yeah,
you know, you can go
it's
back
a
and
new
find
art form.
those like Top of the Pops videos of all those bands playing, and they're literally long sleeves and like pants too big and just like hair. But then it's just the coolest. It's my favorite thing on earth.
It aged very well.
Yeah.
That whole genre.
It's just so great.
It aged so good.
Yeah. And so that band, Sympathy Jar,
from Lexington, Kentucky.
From Lexington, Kentucky, yes. We have one. I did one EP for them 2 years ago called Flee Like These Words.
Flee Like These Words.
Yeah.
FLEE.
Yes.
Nice.
Like, run away.
Yeah. Not like.
Not like little bug on my cat.
Right.
Yeah. That EP is really fun. That was like one of the first things that like I had done as a producer that I'm still proud of. You know,
Nice.
It's really cool.
So they're a full band.
Yeah, they're a full band.
And they'll have demos that they've worked out amongst themselves.
Yeah.
Or is it more of a member
It's two main members, and they just
writing
all the music. And they've been. The drummer was my boss at this used tech store that I used to work at in Lexington, like right when I got out of college.
used
Tech store. I was selling.
Oh, tech.
Yeah, I was selling
phones
refurbished
and-
laptops and stuff like that. It was not a bright moment in my life. It was a fun job, but that guy, his name is Mikey Miller. He was my manager, and then right as I was like quitting that job, he was like, "Oh, by the way, I have this band." I was like, "What band?" He was like, "Sympathy Jar." I went and saw him play, and it was just loud.
That's a good name.
And beautiful. Yeah, and Caleb, their frontman, is just such a wonderful lyricist.
And you just help them find sounds and arrangements.
Yeah, and we'll this next one is going to be done at our bass player with Abby, Carson Childers. He's got a studio in Lexington called Furlong Creative. So we're going to do it there at the end of March, and I'm very excited.
I'm excited
for that too.
And he has a podcast.
He does.
We should do a collab podcast.
Oh my god!
I think his first interview was Craig.
Yes. Yeah, I think you're right. I love. Yeah, he's been crushing.
He just
it right
talks
now.
about the bass guitar.
He just talks about the bass guitar for all the bass boys.
Yeah.
Bass boys need somebody. They need a.
I picked
they need
up.
a captain. They
I
need a
think it was
Blackbeard.
your guitar, your bass guitar, your
The
bass
bass
six.
Yeah.
From some place in New York.
Oh no, that was Carson's.
That was Carson.
Yeah, it was
There's
when
two
we were
bass
up there.
sixes.
There's two bass sixes now.
Okay, wonderful.
Yeah, which is gonna be fun.
And for the audience, a bass six It's a guitar
tuned down
an octave.
So it's a bass, but like a guitar. It's a weird instrument.
Yeah.
Like they were only made for like 4 or 5 years, and like they came out and most people were like, this is not a good bass.
Sounds good,
it's
but
not a good guitar. Yeah. So what do we do with
the
this?
idea, it's a good idea.
Yeah, it's a great idea. And then
you get it.
It got in the hands of like Robert Smith, and
he made it cool again.
And you watch that like Beatles. Have you seen the Get Back Beatles Peter Jackson documentary?
Yeah.
Like John Lennon's playing that the whole time, and it's in the Hey Jude video, I think. It's cool. It's a really fun instrument. Doesn't sound like anything else. And I've like tried to track bass with it before, and it just like it does a thing.
So close.
Yeah, it's so close, but it's not quite there. Mm-hmm. If you're going for like traditional bass stuff, but that's what makes it kind of fun, is using the stuff that doesn't totally do.
That's what makes everything
the
fun.
Same
though.
thing. Yeah, just more experimentation.
Yeah,
more
with producing,
dreaming.
Yeah.
I mean, always. I feel like that's the. I just watched a Jack Antonoff interview, and he said this thing so well where it was like, you feel like most of the time producing is either making sounds you've never heard before or trying to find sounds that you heard in a dream.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I love that. like, because that's kind of what it, like, Ian and I were talking about that last night, of just like pushing the envelope forward. It's like, how do we do that? And most of the time it's just doing your thing and experimenting and trusting yourself when it's like, all right, this is off kilter. Like, this doesn't, I don't know where to place this. Mm-hmm. And it's like those types of threads. I hope that the rest of my production career, I would be known for that, you know, just pulling on that stuff and going like, this doesn't sound like anything else I've heard before. Well, how far can this take us? You know,
Yeah.
That's the really exciting stuff.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I always think of it as the art you make being an object, you know? Mm-hmm. And then the more people looking at it, the different shadows you're going to get off of it. You know what I mean? It's like, this is your art, and people look at it this way, these people aren't going to see it anymore. But these people are liking it a lot more. So, like, the more diverse your art is, like, the more people will like it more. But also, there will always that whatever makes them like that more.
But couldn't you also say that then it's also on the listener to move to the place where they could actually see it for what it is? Like, if we're running with that analogy, like maybe if so,
yeah.
So if
like
this is a song and we've got some people over here that are enjoying the song from this side, and as there always is a gallery on the other side going like, bah, and I don't like it. Is it on them to actually step around the fold, you know, and actually go see it for what it is? Or is it on the artist to try to, you know,
I guess it could work both ways.
Yeah.
And sometimes it works where the artist makes something shaped differently so that this sector can see it more and understand what that is as opposed to what that is.
Is that what you think, though?
But over time, maybe, like, both could be happening, that over time the shape of the art is changing. Yeah. But also the people are kind of intermingling. I don't think it's possible to make one thing that everyone universally.
Yeah. I would agree. I would agree with you.
Like, no one no one's ever going to have everyone's going to have the same favorite song.
I think that's why, though, like, I don't think it is the artist's job to change anything about the presentation of it. You know what I mean? Because I feel like that's the stuff that lasts a lot longer, is just letting people just look at it and observe it. Yeah. You know, and just see it for what
wherever
it is.
they are.
And it'll take whatever shape it does in any era. Like, I mean, literally with shoegaze, you know, it's like in the 90s, you know, it kind of blows up in the UK, especially with like, it's funny, like, I feel like you can kind of liken it to like what grunge was in the United States when it first popped up, where it, like, if you look at the popularity of it, it's like those bands have lasted in the zeitgeist for a really long time. But in reality, it's like they were really popular for like 4 or 5 years, and then
Influential
most
the
of
rest.
that stuff, and then most of that stuff sort of petered out, and it was kind of the same thing with shoegaze. And then just, I feel like very recently, there's been a lot of people coming back to it, you know, which is really fun and exciting because it's like, you know, it's just trends and stuff, but it's not the artist's job to follow trends. It's the artist's job to just like make what
The trends.
Yeah, just to do what they do. And then it may become a trend and it may not, you know, even like John Prine is.
Well, anything could become. It's just little hidden treasure chests.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Just scattered throughout.
Yeah.
We're going to always uncover more bands who did something before we thought.
Dude, I literally, it was in, so I'm leaving Nashville, just for a little bit, just to go incubate.
Me too. I leave Monday.
You're leaving Monday? Great. I'm thinking about going to Louisville for a little bit, and I was just like, you know, doing some research about like what bands, you know, in the world that have come out from Louisville.
Oh, wow.
And just started listening to Slint.
Love Slint. I was about to bring them
I
up,
had
actually.
never listened to Slint before, and I went and listened to it. Like them and Squirrel Bait is another band. It's like the very similar members, and I went and listened to that, and it's like late 80s, early 90s.
And the guitar player for Split ended up working for, I think it was Blondie or someone like that.
Really?
Yeah.
Wild. Well, it was just funny listening to that, because then I was like, I've been listening to like Sun Kill Moon for a really long time, and I got like, these guys were doing the Sun Kill Moon thing 20 years before anybody knew about that guy.
And they definitely weren't popular then.
No.
They never had popularity until these newer bands started saying
them.
Splint is why, and then they got their records reprinted, and you know, I think that could be just as exciting thing as getting a hit.
There's a great band that my younger sister Katie showed me, and she's just got the most immaculate taste on planet Earth, and it's this band called Life Without Buildings. They're like I think they're Scottish. They made one record in like 2001, and it's incredible. It's got this sort of like American football-y-esque thing to some of the production, and the vocals are odd and weird, but record came out, band completely broke up because they had no obscurity, and then their songs blew up on TikTok like 2 years ago.
Oh,
and this band,
it's like this generation's Neutral Milk Hotel.
Yes, exactly. And this band, like after 20 years of nobody saying anything, now have like 500,000 monthly listeners on Spotify.
Yeah,
as I am probably 200,000 of them.
That's great.
Just like just stuff like that, you know. And it's completely out of your control, and the timeline and trends just has nothing to do with. It says nothing about the quality of your art.
For sure.
Yeah.
Speaking of American football.
Love.
Yeah. Who do you got for the Super Bowl?
Is that recent? I don't pay attention to sports. I'm not going to lie to you.
It's tomorrow.
The Super Bowl's tomorrow?
No.
Oh. I would have totally believed you. I would have been texting my boss being like, are we doing a Super Bowl party at Basement East? I don't know. Who's playing?
I don't think we know yet.
Do we know
I just
yet?
thought that.
Or the playoffs?
When do we know?
We don't know. I'm going to go
Can someone
with the
search-
Buccaneers.
Can someone Google
The Buccaneers.
football?
That is who's going to take the Super Bowl this year. Somebody Google football.
Someone Google
Hey, Jamie, can we pull up football?
Thank you, Zach.
Jamie?
Hey, Jamie.
Jamie?
Can we watch a football game
Jamie?
on my cell phone?
Can I hear football?
Can I hear football?
Jamie? Oh my God.
Cool.
Is that it?
I think that's good.
Do we have to be done? Okay.
For now, we
Okay.
can talk upstairs.
I mean, yeah, you're my best friend, so. Oh.
no. Thank you, Zach. I love talking to you.
Same.
Microphone. No microphone.
No microphone. We're just
Okay.
talking. We're just always gonna talk.
Let's get out of
Let's
here.
leave.
Thank you. We'll see you next week.
Thank you. Good night.